Welcome to the Meetup. For anyone that doesn't know, I'm Kenneth's partner in the club, and for anyone that didn't catch it, Kenneth passed away suddenly Saturday night. We have prepared a. Oh, can you hear me? Okay, is that better? It was a shock to everyone to hear that Kenneth passed away, and I'm sure to his family's here in the front. A shock to them and everyone else. As you can see, Kenneth was 42 years old, way too early. For a fleeting moment, I did consider canceling the meeting tonight, but I think Kenneth would have wanted us to celebrate his life. And we usually do, in the beginning of the meeting, for anyone that's been here before, we usually do a lot, like 45 minutes or so for people to come up and pitch whatever product they're selling or house they're selling and that kind of stuff. We're not doing that tonight at all. We are going to do a tribute to Kenneth and his life. We put together a tribute. I'm going to pass the mic to Andy Spagnolo, and he's going to do the presentation for us.
I'd like to welcome everybody. Thank you all for coming. This means a lot to Kenneth. We're really here for the first part of this evening to celebrate the life of a truly outstanding individual. Everyone who knows him understands that. Before we start, I'd like to start with just a moment of silence, prayer, reflection, whatever you prefer to do, but if we can just all just take a moment to remember Kenneth silently. As we were silent, I just heard Kenneth's laughter in the background. It just came shining through. Before I get started, I'd like to introduce a couple of people to you. Kenneth's partner, Nicole Ponder, is here this evening. And also Kenneth's father. And Kenneth's father, Mr. Gills, would like to get up and share some thoughts with you, with everyone, about his son. Would you like to come on? You want to hold it or you want to put it in? Yeah.
It's good that you came here for a Kenneth. I'm standing in place for my son, but his spirit is standing up inside of me. I come to you tonight as a proud father. I come to you as a man who knows his work is not over. I come to you in the spirit of my son. I say wholeheartedly, thank you for your outpouring of love that you have shown. You have wore out my battery in my cell phone. I charge it up, 2 hours again, it's done. what I would like to do in the beginning is tell you something about this man you fell in love with as a little boy. Kenny was a little boy that could fix anything. I would bring something home and get the instruction, take the parts out, and I would put it together and it didn't fit. And everything I put down, when I looked down, he had it together. That was Kenny. Let me tell you something else about Kenny. In 2008, when the stock market, when the real estate was going so bad, I came over to his house and Kenny was sleeping on the floor beside the bed. And I used to call him Junior because no one else could. You know, that's a father. I'm the Junior, but I call him Junior. And this is what he said. He said, Daddy, it's hard. So I got to condition myself every morning that's not going to be easy. And so I went back to my roots when I was in the Navy. And so as I slept on the floor and woke up, my joints hurting, I knew I had to work harder that day than I did the day before. That was Kenny. He was adjusting to whatever situation came up so he could come out a winner. So I asked him one day, I said, son, do you know what a winner is? He said, yeah, somebody that goes out and get it done. I said, well, tell me what W-I-N means. He said, well, I just told you what it is, Daddy. I said, okay. It means what's important now. You see, if you don't take care of what's important now, what's important will become a problem. He said, I like that, Daddy. I could hear my son speaking to me. And he said, Daddy, tell me what pride means. What does it mean to be prideful? P-R-I-D-E. Personal, responsible, individually daily effort. You see, you can't buy it, you can't find it, you can't rent it, and some people thought they could inherit it, but they can't. It got to come from within. I'm very proud of my son. And I'm proud that I set the example that he could call me Dad. I was telling some of my brothers and sisters here, I said, every time we talk, I said two things. I love you, and thank you for making me the student and you the teacher. I done taught you long enough. And he would always say, go ahead, Dad. Go ahead, Dad. Now, when you look at somebody 6'4" saying, go ahead, Dad, there's not a lot of humility, but there's a lot of love. I can hear my son say, tell them about adversity, like you told me. Adversity, and I told my son, introduce you to yourself. Because some things you can't stop. You can't do anything about it. Last Saturday night, we couldn't stop it. But what is inside of us on the way we deal with it? If we stop growing now, then how is that helping us? It had been said that life is too short to be a midget. So you got to keep growing. I can hear my son telling me about the things that we should do and the way we should look at money. See, we should like the things money can buy, but we should love the things money can't buy. Money can buy you a house, but it can't buy you a home. Money can buy you a companion, but it can't buy you a friend. And money can buy you a bed, but it can't buy you a good night's sleep. And as we would talk, and he would look at me, and I would look at him, one day I said, wait a minute, you get in this chair and I get in that chair. And he said, why? I said, well, you're looking too much like me. And we would laugh and cut up. I can hear my son say, Daddy, tell them what you told me about the axe pit. I told him every morning, the prospector get up, swing that pick in search of gold or silver. The prisoner gets up, swing the axe pits in search of nothing. It's swinging the axe pits without a purpose that makes the prisoner. Now what are you doing over and over again with no success? What are you doing that not only you don't have any success, but no joy? Are you the prisoner or the prospector? In 1963, we lost our president, John Fitzgerald Kennedy. He loved the writer David Frost. David Frost wrote stories, and poems, and poetry. And while he was in Dallas, talking to some businessmen, he made this statement from one of his books. He said, I have promises to keep and many miles to go before I sleep. What promises have you made to yourself that's hard to keep? And why do you think pushing yourself is not worth the miles you have to go? And most of all, why are you associating yourself with people who are always telling you about your limitations and not your potentials? See, my son got where he's at, but not dealing with the negative. Even when it came from the family. Let me share this with you. I don't want to take up too much of your time today. But when he came out of the Navy, because he went around the world, he saw certain cultures that the family stuck together. And so he came home trying to imitate and emulate that, and got hurt many times over. And he said, Daddy, you're right. You're 100% right. People do what's important to them. I can tell you something that happened to you this morning, and I didn't have to be in the car with you. Nobody stopped you and asked you, how can I help you? What's important in your life? Let me show you a better way. Because everybody is doing what they think will bring them the greater good. And if they are doing that, why aren't you doing it? And if you are doing it, increase it. I used to tell him, raise your hand up, Kenny. Raise your hand. And that's when I was taller than he was, okay? Raise your hand up, Kenny. He said, I said, I can still see him. You got to raise him up higher than that. I want to be able to look up like this. Run, Kenny. Run. And he would say, Dad. I said, you the fastest person in school? He said, no. I said, then that means you got something to work on. I wanted it still in his spirit that just don't settle for little or nothing. You got to push yourself. Have you ever did something and you said, wow, I'm proud of myself as nobody else is. It was there all the time. It's just that the situation and the circumstances developed and you had to do something at that time. And you rose to the occasion. I tell people, don't rise up, resonate. When you rise, you keep the same form. But when you resonate, you change the form of what you once was to something to get to the next level. That's important. That's important in life. Kenny shared with me about so many people that love him here. He said, Daddy, you got to come out. Daddy, you got to see these people. He said, Daddy, I'm the man. I said, okay. I said, I'm going to come out there and show them that you came from a man. And we would just go back and forth. We would always try to encourage each other with different sayings and different things that we have read. And he knows that I love people that's on the way, not in the way. Most people could reach their goals if they didn't bog themselves down with sideline activity. Look, stop dealing with OPP, okay? Other people problems. Stop dealing with that. They know it was a problem before they came to you. I used to have a t-shirt, and I sold a lot of this t-shirt. I'm gonna tell you what was on this t-shirt, why I sold so much. But it had across the front, listen to this. Why do you act like a fool with my money and act like, no, why did you act like a fool with your money and act like you graduated from Harvard with mine? Pay your own bill with your own money. And every time I show someone that, I want 2 or 3. Because there's always someone in your life said, if I saw you yesterday, I had it, but I don't have it today. Now, if you want to see me get mad, let somebody tell me that. In life, you will be faced with a series of God-ordained opportunities, brilliantly disguised as challenges and promises. God put it out there for you. The only free lunch is in the mousetrap. I'm glad you got that. You see, because there's some people that you know right now that you could be hungry and won't ask for a dime. You know why? Because if you ask for $1, you're going to get about $100 before they stop. So do it yourself. Align yourself with positive people. Only quality people, you see. Henry Ford made this statement when it comes down to excuses. He said, your friends don't need it, and your enemies are not going to believe it. When you got to keep explaining something over and over, you don't need that. It's a joy to come before you and talk. To talk to so many people that touch my son's life. It is a joy. My fiance would love to be here tonight, and she came, and she gave me some good advice. Honey, don't talk too long. They're not gonna like you. Honey, after you meet some of the people, sit down, because you will talk to a rock if you got a chance. I'm not going to be there with you. And so I say this for my son, and he called my fiance his mother, and we miss him so much. And for a while, I didn't think I could come tonight and speak to all his friends. But I know this right here, and I'll share it with someone else, that faith set things, hope expect things, and love endure things. And if you have enough faith, F-A-I-T-H, means finding answers in the heart. When you don't understand something, put it in prayer. Look in your heart. And just like adversity, it'll tell you about yourself. Thank you. And my son, thank you. And I hope to see you again. Keep clapping, I'll come back.
Wow. Mr. Gills, that was quite a tribute. That's amazing. Kenneth was many things to all of us. And many of us in the room have had the honor and privilege of working with him. Some of us have been fortunate enough to have him as our mentor or coach. He was known by many people as a beam of light, a ray of hope, a gentle giant, a friend, a father figure, an inspirator, a motivator, a problem solver, a superhero. Regardless of what he is to you, each and every one of us have the same thing in common. Kenneth changed our lives. And he changed countless lives all around the DMV and across the globe. Yes, literally across the globe. As you will see in a little bit later in the presentation. When you were with Kenneth, you were in the presence of greatness. Are there any new people here tonight for the first time? That's great. He'd be very, very, very happy that you're here. He is very happy that you're here. A message to all of the new people who have never met Kenneth. Even though he's gone, he lives on. And to all of the first-timers here, even though he's gone, I will guarantee you that he will touch your life tonight. I guarantee it, if he hasn't already, based on his Mr. Gills' wonderful ode to his son. There's a common thread that we all share. We all love him dearly. An amazing individual. Each and every one of us have been on the receiving end of Kenneth's generosity because he believed in giving. He gave and gave and gave. Anyone who knows Kenneth is going to be familiar with this next slide, which was inspired by his assisted living properties. Take a moment to read it and really think about it and let this sink in. Some go through life cautiously, as though they're walking on eggshells. Yet life is so risky that you cannot escape it alive. So instead, live your dream. Break the rules that others have set for you and live a life worth living.
Amen.
Kenneth did that. You could see it in him. You could feel it in him. It was real. There's a little background on this inspirational quote. I'm sure some people in this room have definitely heard this story. Kenneth used to go visit the assisted living homes that he created. And he'd go to check in on these properties and check in on the residents. He'd bring them gifts. And he would just sit with them. Because he used to say that they rarely had visitors. People would be in these assisted living places and they were just there. You know, and they really looked forward to him coming. And he would show up and spend time with them. And what I remember him saying is, what he enjoyed most was sitting down with them and just talking to them about their lives and how they were doing. Time and time again, he would hear these older folks speak of regret and wishing that they had done things they always dreamt of doing. So many of them, so many people go through life with a dream or a hope, and they never chase it down. It was heartbreaking for Kenneth, it really was. So much so that was a spark that ignited his passion to live his dream every day and to live a life worth living. Kenneth had some core values: integrity, grit, tenacity, teamwork, philanthropy, trustworthiness, and giving back. I'd like to share a really quick but significant story of Kenneth's values and what was to become the future motto of the BWI Meetup. Back in May, when that photograph was taken of that food, Amy and I had the honor of sitting down with Kenneth for a day and talking about this meetup and what it meant, and we kind of really dug down inside and talked about a lot of it, his passions and things like that. We call this process the discovery process, where you really sit down and reach in and think about everything, your gifts, your talents. And we discovered in this process Kenneth's value proposition and the core mission of this meetup, and why this meetup has become the 10th fastest growing meetup in the country. On that day, a new motto was born. He knew it. We discovered that of him. It's growth through giving. Let's think about that for a second. Growth through giving. And reflect on how much he gave. If giving leads to growth, it's no wonder he was always the biggest guy in the room. There's a funny story about him being the biggest guy in the room. I remember a couple of years ago there was a post on Facebook with a video of an upcoming real estate event that he was hosting with someone, and in the video was an interview with a Charles Barkley impersonator and another newscaster impersonator, sportscaster impersonator. And in the video, they were promoting how big the event would be. It started to get pretty funny. And at the end, Charles Barkley said, "Yeah, Kenneth Gills is so big he could move a house." And he probably could have. He's moved mountains. Truth is, Kenneth is a very large soul, a very large and giving soul. He gave and gave and gave until he could give no more. He truly emptied himself with his endless outpouring of love, kindness, inspiration, hope, understanding, motivation, and courage. He had this innate ability to inspire people and help them gain the courage to keep going. To keep going no matter what circumstances you were facing or living under. And there's a video that he posted. I don't know how many of you have seen this, but this is paramount. Kenneth overcame some pretty harsh circumstances, and he overcame them against all odds, a lot of people would say. And he did it over and over again, always grasping for and attaining a higher goal with a higher purpose. And now I know where he got a lot of that from this wonderful man right here. So here's his story in his words.
Hello, Kenneth Gills here, and what I'm going to share with you is something called my story. Now, often I get asked the question,
Have you seen this?
Kenny, what gives you the right to say these things? I mean, really, who are you? Now, I did ask that question from those who do not know me. And what I share with them is what I'm about to share with you. How, when in high school, periodically being homeless, sleeping in cars, and in laundromats, to doing commercial investments residential, coaching, doing millions of dollars in real estate transactions on a yearly basis. Now, what I want to share with you is this, and now follow me closely, is that this is still not the easiest thing for me to talk about. Because it's my story. I lived it. I lived through it. I mean, I remember, just like yesterday, the embarrassment that I had when I was caught stealing food. When I was taking fries and the lunch aide said, "Hey, what are you doing stealing that? You can't take that." And I didn't want anybody to know that I didn't have anything to eat. I remember that like it was yesterday. Sleeping in the back seat of a car that wasn't locked. And when people pulled up next to it, being still hoping and praying that he wouldn't see me. And still going to high school. I remember that like it was yesterday. From then, yes, I have done a lot of investment in real estate. I've helped a lot of families. But what I want to share with you is my story and how I was able to do those things. And the journey that I have left of many more things yet to do. So, back during the time when I was younger, going through many challenges, not, as I mentioned, having a stable home environment, I found that books provided me a sense of comfort. I also found that going to movies provided a sense of escape. A lot of my heroes as a kid were those in the silver screen. I would say, I don't want to do what that person does, or I'm going to be like this person, or that individual. A lot of those when I was younger, those were my heroes. Those were people who I wanted to be like. I didn't even know them. But that's where I focused. I focused on something that was further than where I were at that moment, at that very time. Later, I joined the military. Now, I have to share with you this. The military changed my life drastically. At the end of the day, it taught me so much about discipline, about courage and commitment, and it taught me more about what I had inside. It showed that I was battle tested. There was a friend of mine, and his name was Bradley, and we used to always train and say, hey, who's going to be the most well-known in special forces, and we would go around every day swimming many Olympic laps, going to the gun range, night fighting, working out, training, reading, you name it, we was doing it. And that goes back into what I was mentioning about association. I found then that your peer group, your environment, largely determines what's acceptable. It wasn't acceptable to sleep in. It wasn't acceptable to be mediocre. It wasn't acceptable to say I can't, to say I might or I try. What was acceptable was to do. And that's what we did. Now, you may often hear me use the phrase outstanding, and actually that's where that comes from. Because one time while in the service, I had to do a particular function, and you usually got graded off of 3 grades, where it was unsacked, sacked, or outstanding. And those in the service know what I'm talking about. And my commander said, great work, Gills, sacked. And I said, no, outstanding, sir. He said, what? No, sacked, Gills, good job. I said, no, outstanding, sir. He said, outstanding, Gills, what? Permission to speak freely? Yes. Sir, can you tell me why it's not outstanding? He smiled and said, no, I can't. So guess what? It is outstanding. And I smiled because I knew that I had given it my best. And this was not unsacked, this was not sacked, this is outstanding.
just need to turn
And
it
you know what
back
the
on.
next words were to me? Gills, give me 50 upstairs and push So this particular point in my life right here, I began to learn and develop what it meant to have friendships and teamwork. And what I want to share with you is
We're going to keep you in suspense for a minute. That was the end, wasn't it? I think that was the end, wasn't it?
Yeah, for that it was. Yeah.
So before this video, I mentioned that Kenneth was always grasping for and attaining to reach a higher purpose. His lesson on purpose inspired me personally to write what's on this slide. If you know your purpose and hit your passion to it, you will stop at nothing to realize your dreams. Your life must have definite purpose. And we have another video of Kenneth defining definite purpose.
A great day to you. Last week, I posted on Gills 17 Principles of Personal Achievement. It states that definite purpose is a starting point in a plan. People drift aimlessly and profound and so important in my personal life. There are so many things around you that can draw your attention. I often need to say no to the things you do. For example, it doesn't make me a better father, a better person, better health. I say no to it because I know my purpose is. Don't fall, whatever you won't be. And it gives you the directions into place of not where I want to be. My true purpose, my true definite purpose. For example, on the road, and you have these mile markers or these lanes, and you cross into a lane, it means that you pass you were going to. So what do? You drive back into the lane. You pull over and say, oh, I can't believe I crossed the line. I can't believe we went to the other lane. I can't drive anymore. So we just stop here. Let's stay in the lane. Just go with the definite purpose and the success and the things that are important to you. Care about and help them stay in the lane that you don't want to be. You know that you cross over to the direction. Just the key. I hope this helps you as it's helping. Take care.
I don't know if you all could hear everything in that video. The music on it was a little bit loud, but on Kenneth's behalf, I'd like to encourage each and every one of you in this room to identify your purpose in life. Whatever it is, identify it and live it. Every day from that moment on, your life will have increased value. Your job won't seem like work, and your work won't seem like a job. It's so true, and I've only known Kenneth for about 3 years. There's many people in this room have known him for decades, and I'm sure that they understand what he means by purpose and how important it is that you really live that. You really identify what that is. And luckily, under his tutelage, I was fortunate enough to get close enough to him to learn that and understand that. It makes a huge difference. I sleep at night. Earlier, when I said that Kenneth touched lives across the globe, that was a literal statement. As many of you know, and some may not know, he has an office in the Philippines. And it's run by a team of professional real estate assistants that he has. And to them, he's affectionately known as Captain in the office. In fact, these two posters were done by the gentleman who runs the office. And the next video is a dedication to Kenneth that they put together. And we'd like you to really enjoy this.
Hey, this is Kenny here, doing a audio check. Hi, Rob, from the team. What do we think?
One thing about Kenneth is that he likes to laugh.
I don't know what about him.
Loud. Again.
Right.
And again. Totally, I'm not kidding. And again.
I guess how you feel, man. So nice.
Kenneth Gills was just a very fun guy to work with. How it looks like the ones that they blow up in the movies.
Like, I think y'all got a good relationship. I said, yeah, that's my buddy. That's my homeboy right there. He said, that's your buddy? He was supposed to be like, yeah, that's your buddy. He said, man, and he just seemed so personable. Like, y'all was fast, just talking, and he understood the humor. I said, yeah. And he said, you know what's it? I said, man, let me come over here. I put him down. I said, what's up? I said, he's a shit guy. Oh, that's a guy.
Remembering all of that is priceless. Another thing about Ken is no matter how busy he got, he made himself available to assist. Being a person that I consider a close family and mentor, I always came to him for advice and wisdom.
You know, sometimes family things get like, people say, well, hey, how you deal with, frustrations or anxiety?
Right.
I tell you, like, for myself, when things hit me, like, really frustrating, only I can tell myself is it just gotta be a solution. It's not like, okay, like, in the morning when I wake up, man, it's not like I had to dig really deep to find something to create positive. Because now, like, it's all free flow. You know, it's like a lot of stuff, that's happens that go on, and if I don't watch it, it can consume me to the point to where I can get anxiety. I would be like, where my mind won't stay, where my mind won't stop from. My mind will just keep spinning. And then I have to say to myself, okay, what's going on? I have to say, maybe it's a situation of, I can't let the tail wag the dog. I gotta am I letting something control me that shouldn't be controlled? I wouldn't say that I understand everything that you experience. That's why I'm here to let you know, so that way I can understand. I can only speak from my points of myself where I just get to the point where I'm just like, what's going on?
My name is Rob Kenneth's project manager for the Philippines. He and I have worked together for close to 3 years, and almost on a daily basis. We spoke and exchanged thoughts. He ushered me to a different level of understanding how things work by showing me how it's done. Kenneth Michael Gills is such an honorable gentleman whose name, words, and reputation can always be taken to the bank. He is a man full of life, overflowing with positive energy, a big, fearless, strong guy who just loved everybody. He believed that success is sacred and must be treated with respect at all times. He carefully decided on things and was very responsible about his actions. In one of our exchanges, actually, he told me, Rob, everything rises and falls under leadership. He filled the business with honesty, integrity, and with love. When you talk business with Kenneth, he will be true to his words even without a contract. He was a responsible leader who fulfilled all of his obligations. He was the absolute most genuine and humble person I know who welcomed everybody, as well as their opinions and thoughts, regardless of who you are. Kenneth was just so unselfish, so understanding, and such a powerhouse. And it's amazing to see a guy like him to be doing that, leveling with people and not the typical bossy or superstar type. A calm, mild-mannered giant that he is, Kenneth always maintained his cool, even during pressing situations or when we were all trying to beat deadlines. He never raised a decibel. As a leader, he was always great at identifying the needs, roadblocks, no matter how perplexing the situation was. He had this very unbelievable ability to clear his mind up and stay focused, so he can understand them and produce solutions that really solve the problem in just a short period of time. Kenneth believed that leadership is not about being the boss. He always rolled up his sleeves and made it happen. He was his own first line of defense and offense. He made everyone follow even without saying a word. He was a doer, a real go-getter, the cavalry, and the rock. He involved everyone not only on the toilet part, but each time we closed deals. With no excuses or delays, he shared the blessings to everyone who worked with him on it. And like what Kenneth always said, we all eat together. We all eat together. He introduced everyone to everybody. He was just this happy guy to be an instrument to connect people. Everyone can feel the joy when he introduces someone to somebody, right? He dedicated his life to become an organism that won't stop growing, improving on a daily basis. I was there. I listened to every game plan. I challenged every thought. He allowed me to mentally spar with him. But for every objection, he had a logical answer. And boy, he always came prepared. He embraced every challenge that came along the way. Quitting didn't cross his mind, not even once. To the toughest of endeavors, the goal he set for everyone was not to just come out as wounded survivors, but as glorified champions. Kenneth taught us all that by doing things right, hard work, dedication, focus, integrity, being fair, and genuinely helping others succeed will make you even more successful. In fact, that's the only time that you will achieve real, unadulterated success. Not just in business, but the quality of life that we lead. Life lessons that myself and all of you guys get straight from the man who practices them with utmost diligence and discipline daily. I know it is hard to digest, waking up in the morning knowing that our world lost a great leader who could have helped change more lives. But knowing Kenneth, he will just say, you guys go ahead and keep going. Stay focused all the time. Maintain that laser-like focus. Words aren't enough to describe how great of a man Kenneth is. Not only as a leader, but a friend, family, and colleague. He was this guy who will congratulate you big time for a job well done. But at the same time, he's ready to be of support in case you fall short. That is the man that I knew, the captain that I knew, Kenneth Michael Gills. And for the last time, sir, Captain, on behalf of Team Philippines, 1,000 salute, Captain. Please carry with you in heaven all the love, all the respect, and all the care from us. You will always be in our hearts and will never be forgotten. We love you, Captain.
Way to rock and roll again, my man. Thank you, man. I appreciate it, buddy.
Yep.
Excuse me. Those two have never met face to face. Their relationship has been through Skype, through video, through trust, accountability, team building. That spoke volumes. Kenneth had another vision of his many, but one that he had started to incorporate recently. I know a bunch of people in this room were at a happy hour networking function that was in Tyson's Corner several months ago. And there's a little video that was filmed there of that. And it's just, well, you just need to watch it. It's great. His idea, can you hold that 1 second, was he wanted to connect and set a network of investors from Baltimore through Northern Virginia and beyond, going further south, further north, and west. It's a legacy that he wanted to grow, and I know for a fact that it's going to happen. There are people that are going to carry that torch and move it and move that dream into reality. That was some downtime and fun, but networking. I mean, things happened from that event. It was great. It was a lot of fun. A lot of people got to relax. We met people there that weren't invited there, but happened to be. Well, they happened to be. There were some real estate developers that worked in Northern Virginia. There were some lenders, because there's a tower club right across the street, and it was just amazing when you put yourself in a place and people are going to be there. So we, talked about the definite purpose. We've got a bunch of photos to kind of show you another side of Kenneth that maybe none of you have ever seen before. And we call this rewards of definite purpose. There's no sound to this, so. Cold Stone. Isn't that great? That was in April, by the way. Sure goes to a lot of restaurants, doesn't it? See you at the top. We all set? Everyone, this is Kenneth's partner, Nicole Ponder, and she'd like to say a few things to you.
I guess I was
Is she on?
testing.
I think so. Let me check that.
Oh, there we go. Testing. Okay. So, as his personal side has been displayed, I thought it'd be remiss if I didn't say something. Just because my side and the side that I saw with Ken is involved with all of the business side. I listened to him talk to many of you on the phone while I drove. I watched him Skype as I drank my cup of coffee with the group over in the Philippines. Everything he taught and dreamed of and believed on the business side, he did the same with his family, with his girls, in our relationship, and with any friendships out there aside from business. Movies were his thing. in between talking to Amy and Andy, Everson, and all you other folks out there, I'm a music person. I love music. But Kenneth would make us listen to movie, theater, soundtrack music. I don't know if you knew that, but that's what he did. So we had it set up. He had his bathroom and I had mine. And I would play my music to get me going for the morning. But his, louder than mine, was always either Superman, Batman. It was motion picture movies. And I asked what that was about in the beginning because it was a little strange. I later found that we liked some of the same music, but that motivated him. And it really, really did. He'd walk around when that music was playing and I just didn't get it, but he did. And that's what he did before he spoke to many of you and before he made many business deals. I just hope to give you some of the insider, not everything, but I'll give you some inside things. Training for the special forces. He did. I'm Navy and I'm still active Navy. Kenneth currently set a goal, recently I should say, that he was going to be able to obtain and complete the physical readiness test recently. Those "You Are Beautiful" stickers where he used in Tyson's Corner, yeah, he just threw all of those on top of the dresser and I was like, "These, you are beautiful." I'm ever evolving, so stick with me, stick with us. And I think I shared this with Everson, and Amy and Andy can definitely contest to this. One thing about Kenneth, whatever happened the night before, when the sun rose, it was a new day. And if there was a misunderstanding, because I've heard some of your conversations, Everson, I asked Ken, is that your son or is that, what? But the very next day, it was back to business and the love was there. That's one thing about him. And he would always tell me, it's a new day. And well, you know us women, well, yeah, it's a new day, but we're still going to talk about that, right? We still have to address that. So I got away with some of that. So adjust and keep moving, and you have to. And Kenneth taught me that. A motivator. And he taught me to balance our lives. Those restaurants, yeah, I was sitting on the other end. He did eat that cake, by the way, for his birthday. I have to sit with the muscles being shown at breakfast at Silver Diner. But he also dragged me into the gym, and he ensured that we balanced a healthy life. A few of those pictures were on vacation in Miami, and you best believe that I was in the gym with him 3 out of the 4 mornings. And that 4th morning, we walked the beach. So balance. He was sure to keep his life balanced. And I know it was tough. I know it was tough with all that he did and then balancing family. But he did it and he did it well. And lastly, I'll share this captain thing. I did say I'm in the Navy, right? I'm a naval officer, and when we first met, I said, "Captain, you said you got out of the Navy." And he said, "Yeah, well, but that's what they call me. And you're gonna call me that too." That deal went south. Thank you very much, everyone. This is truly an honor to finally see. I actually was gonna come to this meeting this month with him. One last thing. On these Wednesdays, Ken was a different person. He woke up. That music, those movies, was probably played even louder on these days. He would prepare himself by, he wanted to be here by 2 or 3. You met with the coaches. I got a phone call. He was coming in and he was going to meet, but it was just a different day. And I could always tell that he was motivating himself and preparing himself to address everyone and address you from the heart. These Wednesdays were different days for me, and I knew he wouldn't get in till 12 or 1 o'clock because you were having fun, and it was just, it was great. He loved these meetups. So thank you again. And Kenneth prevented me from crying during that whole time.
Thank you for sharing that, Nicole. We're going to continue on with the normal meetup now. We've got Bill Ames is going to come up and introduce our guest speakers for this evening. Thank you, everyone, so much for paying attention and to cooperating in this tribute to Kenneth's life.